Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning. Srimad Bhagavatam class and hopefully attentive chanting. Hope you are enjoying the festive break, but still remembering Krishna 24/7. That is our duty. This is what we always ask for Krishna, that we never forget him. So let's make a start on today's class. And this will probably be the last one for Dhruva Maharaj. Then we move on to another pastime. So last time today, we talked about Dhruva Maharaj, and so much we have learned from this. And these pastimes are for us to learn something. And as I always said, that the actual details might not apply, but the principle is there that yes, we can also go back home with our endeavor. Thank you so much. So we continue. Dhruva Maharaj was seated in the transcendental plane. So Dhruva Maharaj has been invited now to go back home, back to Godhead. And so he's sitting in the transcendental airplane, which was about to start, when he remembered his poor mother, Sniti. So Dhruva Maharaj, as I was saying last time, that he did all his rituals and all the duties that he does in the morning, while the Krishna Dutas, Vishnu Dutas, they're waiting for him, and he did all his tasks that that he normally does, and he took a bath as well before he left for within the plane. But when he was in the plane, he remembered his mother. He thought to himself, how shall I go alone to the Vaikuntha planet and leave behind my poor mother? Now, this is amazing because, he had wives, children as well, but he thought about his mother, that she'll be left alone without me. What will happen to her? Dhruva had a feeling of obligation to his mother, Suniti. It was Suniti who had given him the clue, which had now enabled him to be personally carried to the Vaikuntha planet by the associates of Lord Krishna. He now remembered her and wanted to take her with him. So Dhruva is going to Vaikuntha planet, he explains here. Actually, Dhruva Maharaj's mother, Suniti, was his Padaksha Guru. Padaksha Guru means the Guru or the spiritual master who shows the way. Such a Guru is sometimes called Shiksha Guru as well. Although Narada Muni was his Diksha Guru, initiating spiritual master. So we have Siksha Gurus and we have Diksha Gurus. We may only have one Diksha Guru, but we can have many Siksha Gurus to instruct the disciple in the right way, and it depends on the disciple to execute the process. So whatever plan the Supreme Personality of Godhead contemplates immediately fructifies. Similarly, a devotee who is completely dependent on the Supreme Lord can also fulfill his wishes by the grace of the Lord. The Lord fulfills his wishes independently, but a devotee fulfills his wishes simply by being dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna can fulfill everything just by thinking about it, but we have to rely on the Lord to fulfill our wishes. We can desire, and the Lord fulfills, and the Lord makes arrangements for everything. Let's do a quick prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Lamyate Gurim. Yat Kirpatam Hamande Shri Gurum Din Taranam Pramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hariyam Tassat. Narayan Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tatujayam Uduriyat Nashtabhreshava Bhadareshu Nityam Bhakta Sevya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nestiki. Hare Krishna. The great associates of Vaikuntha Lok, Nanda and Sunanda, could understand the mind of Dhruva Maharaj, and thus they showed him that his mother, Suniti, was going forward in another plane. This incident proves that the Shiksha or Diksha Guru, who has a disciple who strongly executes devotional service like Dhruva Maharaj, can be carried by the disciple, even though the instructor is not as advanced. So he could take his mother, in other words, as well, by request, because his bhakti was so strong. Although Suniti was an instructor to Dhruva Maharaj, she could not go to the forest because she was a woman, nor could she execute austerities and penances as Dhruva Maharaj did. Still, Dhruva Maharaj was able to take his mother with him. This is the important factor here. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj also delivered his atheistic father, Hiranyakashipu, because he requested that please deliver my father to Nrsimhadev. That was his request. The conclusion is that a disciple or an offspring who is a very strong devotee can carry with him to Vaikuntha Lok either his father, mother, or Shiksha or Diksha Guru. Now, this is interesting because, like, if we think that we are not capable, or it's too late for us to do bhakti, or to do enough to go back home, then why not train our children, make them Krishna conscious, which is our duty anyway, because our children are given to us, so we can train them into Krishna consciousness. They are another jiva, and it is our duty to take jivas back home. And everything, it all starts at home. Start helping your family and your friends, and then other people outside. So if you help your children to advance, then even if we're not successful, then our children can take us back as well. Through them we can go back. While Dhruva Maharaj was passing through space, he gradually saw all the planets of the solar systems, and on the path he saw all the demigods in the airplanes, showering flowers upon him like rain. Dhruva Maharaj thus surpassed the 7 planetary systems of the great sages who are known as Saptarishi. So you go past all these planets and stars. Beyond that region, he achieved the transcendental situation of permanent life in the planet where Lord Vishnu lives. The self-effulgent Vaikuntha planets, by whose elimination alone all the eliminating planets within this material world give off reflected light, cannot be reached by those who are not merciful to other living entities. Only persons who constantly engage in welfare activities for other living entities can reach the Vaikuntha planets. And the welfare activity for us to give the holy name for everyone. A Krishna conscious being is always engaged in planning how to take all of suffering humanity back home. That's our duty. Back to Godhead. Even if one is not successful in reclaiming all the fallen souls back to Godhead, still, because he is Krishna conscious, his path to Vaikuntha Loka is open. He personally becomes qualified to enter the Vaikuntha Lokas. And if anyone follows such a devotee, he also enters the Vaikuntha Loka. Others who engage in envious activities are known as karmis. Karmis are envious of one another simply for sense gratification. They can kill thousands of innocent animals. Gyanis are not as sinful as karmis, but they don't try to reclaim others back to Godhead. They just want liberation for themselves. They perform austerities for their own liberation. Yogis are also engaged in self-aggrandizement by trying to attain mystic powers, again, just for themselves. But devotees, Vaishnavas, who are servants of the Lord, come forward in the actual field of work in Krishna consciousness to reclaim fallen souls. So Jiva Daya is one of our instructions that we have to follow. We have to be kind to the fallen souls. Only Krishna conscious persons are eligible to enter into the spiritual world. Persons who are peaceful, equipoised, cleansed, and purified, and who know the art of pleasing all other living entities, keep friendship only with devotees of the Lord. They alone can very easily achieve the perfection of going back home, back to Godhead. So we should take the association of senior devotees, all the devotees, and learn from them and discuss Krishna Katha with them. In this way, the full Krishna conscious Dhruva Maharaj, the exalted son of Maharaj, Uttanpad, attained the summit of the three statuses of planetary systems. The example of Dhruva Maharaj indicates that if every Krishna conscious person can expect to reach the topmost summit of all three planetary systems within the universe. So this is a lesson for us. A Krishna conscious person can occupy an exalted position beyond the imagination of any ambitious materialists. So what we can achieve by spiritual endeavor, we can never achieve by material endeavor, and that is only temporary anyway. So Sage Maitreya continued. So he's explaining to Vidur about this pastime. My dear Vidur, descendant of Kuru, as a herd of bulls circumambulates a center pole on the right side, all the luminaries within the universal sky unceasingly circumambulate the abode of Dhruva Maharaj with great force and speed. Each and every planet within the universe travels at a very high speed. From a statement in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is understood that even the sun travels 16,000 miles in a second. And from Brahma Samhita, we understand from the shloka beginning, Yak Chakshur Esha Savita Sakal Grahanam, that the sun is considered to be the eye of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda. And it also has a specific orbit within which it circles. So scientists think the sun is standing still in one position, but it's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam that actually the sun has an orbit as well. Similarly, all of the planets have their specific orbits, but together all of them encircle the pole star or Dhruva, where Dhruva Maharaj is situated at the summit of the three worlds. We can only imagine how highly exalted the actual position of a devotee is. And certainly we cannot even conceive how exalted is the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Dhruva Maharaj's planet is Dhruva, as we know. That's the star. And it's the highest position to achieve for especially a jiva. After observing the glories of Dhruva Maharaj, the great sage Narad, playing his veena, went to the sacrificial arena of the Prachetas and very happily chanted the following three verses. The great sage Narad said, simply by the influence of his spiritual advancement and powerful austerity, Dhruva Maharaj, the son of Sniti, who was devoted to her husband, acquired an exalted position not possible to attain even for the so-called Vedantists or strict followers of the Vedic principles, not to speak of ordinary human beings. The great sage Narada continued, just see how Dhruva Maharaj, aggrieved at the harsh words of his stepmother, went to the forest at the age of only 5 years and under my direction underwent austerity. Although the Supreme Person of Godhead is unconquerable, Dhruva Maharaj defeated him with the specific qualification possessed by the Lord's devotees. So Narada is his Diksha Guru. Is so happy that Dhruva Maharaj managed to achieve this exalted position. A Guru is always happy when his disciple is successful. The great sage Narada continued, Dhruva Maharaj attained an exalted position at the age of only 5-6 years after undergoing austerity for 6 months. Alas, a great Kshatriya cannot achieve such a position even after undergoing austerity for many years. The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidur, whatever you have asked from me about the greater reputation of and character of Dhruva Maharaj, I have explained to you in all detail. Great saintly persons and devotees very much like to hear about Dhruva Maharaj. So we're talking about Narad Muni explaining about the glories of Dhruva Maharaj. We at the same time mentioned about Sage Maitreya, speak to Vidur as well about Dhruva Maharaj. By hearing the narration of Dhruva Maharaj, one can fulfill desires for wealth, reputation, and increased duration of life. It is so auspicious that one can even go to a heavenly planet or attain Dhruva, which was achieved by Dhruva Maharaj just by hearing about him. The demigods also become pleased because this narration is so glorious and it is so powerful that it can counteract all the results of one's sinful actions. So we got the Srimad Bhagavatam and we got the holy name, both given to us by Mahaprabhu. They are so auspicious that if we are strong in our endeavor, we can achieve wonderful things spiritually. Anyone who hears the narration of Dhruva Maharaj and who repeatedly tries with faith and devotion to understand his pure character attains the pure devotional platform and executes pure devotional service. By such activities, one can diminish the threefold miserable conditions of material life. So Dhruva Maharaj's character and reputation are great because he is very dear to Achyuta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Lord are pleasing to hear, hearing about his devotees who are very dear to the Supreme Person is also pleasing and potent. So if one simply reads over and over again about Dhruva Maharaj, by hearing and reading this chapter, one can attain the highest perfection of life in any way he desires. Most importantly, he gets a chance to become a great devotee. To become a great devotee means to finish all miserable condition of materialistic life. So it's mentioned here, Achyuta, which means infallible, which means the Lord never lets his devotee down. So whatever the Lord promises, he will keep his promise to his devotee. And also, it's also mentioned here that if you associate with Dhruva Maharaj by reading about him, you will attain his qualities and hopefully his residence as well. Anyone who hears this narration of Dhruva Maharaj requires exalted qualities like him. For anyone who desires greatness, prowess, or influence, here is the process by which to acquire them. And for thoughtful men who want adoration, here is the proper means. In the material world, everyone is after profit, respectability, and reputation. Everyone wants the supreme exalted position, and everyone wants to hear about the great qualities of exalted persons. All ambitions which are desirable for great persons can be fulfilled simply by reading and understanding the narration of Dhruva Maharaj's activities. And even like if we're feeling some doubtful and we're feeling down, if you read about Dhruva Maharaj, then it lifts our spirits. The great sage Maitreya recommended one should chant of the character and activities of Dhruva Maharaj both in the morning and in the evening with great attention and care in a society of Brahmins or other twice-born persons. Persons who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord should recite this narration of Dhruva Maharaj without taking remuneration. So should be for free. You don't give katha for free. You don't charge. You should not make it a business. Specifically, recitation is recommended on the full moon or dark moon day, on the day after Kadashi, on the appearance of the Shravan star at the end of a particular tithi, or the occasional Vyatipatta at the end of the month or on Sunday. Such recitation should, of course, be performed before a favorable audience. When recitation is performed this way, without professional motive, the reciter and audience become perfect. The narration of Dhruva Maharaj is sublime knowledge for the attainment of immortality. Persons unaware of the absolute truth can be led to the path of truth. Those who, out of transcendental kindness, take on the responsibility of becoming master protectors of the poor living entities, automatically gain the interest and blessings of the demigods. The transcendental activities of Dhruva Maharaj are well known all over the world, and they are very pure. In childhood, Dhruva Maharaj rejected all kinds of toys and playthings, left the protection of his mother, and seriously took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. My dear Vidur, I therefore conclude this narration, for I have described to you all its details. So all glories to Dhruva Maharaj. It's an amazing, amazing pastime. We read about Prahlad Maharaj and now Dhruva Maharaj. and what they were able to achieve should give us enthusiasm. Yes, if we are serious, we might not be able to do what Dhruva Maharaj did, how he did it, but we just have to be strong in our japa and our service to the Lord. That's all Krishna. Krishna just wants to endeavor, whatever we can achieve within our capacity, whether we are squirrel or Hanuman, it doesn't matter, whatever kind of body we have, we do our best within that, and God sees that endeavor. Thank you all so much for joining. My father-in-law is there, Hina Mataji, Madhav Shamsundar Prabhu, Partha Prabhu, Praveen Mataji, Priya Parak Mataji, and our Venkat Prabhu. Thank you for joining. And so you can see that, first of all, Dhruva Maharaj told about his mother. Then he was told that, yes, his mother is also going back in a separate plane. She will be going. So through his strong endeavors, his strong bhakti, he was able to take back his mother to Godhead as well. And then so much glories of Dhruva Maharaj has been mentioned by Sage Maitreya, by Narad Muni. His glories are all over the universe and all over other universes, because it sets a great example for everyone. We all need to go back home to Godhead. So, it's first we glorify him, then we also learn from the example. So, Hina Mataji would like to say something about this. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Param, everyone. Everyone's well. Yeah, lovely reading. Thank you, Prabhu. I think for me, the main point that is stuck in my mind is when you explained how powerful our influence is, and how we can take other people with us to Vaikuntha Loka or Krishna Loka. And so it shows the power of our association to influence our family members, our children, and obviously to help our children on this path as well. And it really just flags to me how important this is, and that we need to continue to keep ourselves, our own endeavors in Krishna consciousness very strong, so that we can have that positive influence on other people. So that was the main thing for me. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mata. Yeah, we should cover all corners. It will help everyone, our family, friends, whoever we can, who wants to know. If people that don't want to know, then we can't, there's nothing we can do about that. But anyone, we can convince them, whether it's just by setting an example or, telling them about Krishna, about the holy name. If they show even a little bit of interest, we should fan that spark. If they have a little bit of spark, we should fan it and then help them progress. Thank you so much. Partha Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Such a nice point. I remember only mainly one point. One is, it is not late for bhakti. So as in Bhagavad-Gita it says, there is no loss or diminution. So at least from the time we understand the value of bhakti, from there, if we focus properly, then Lord will empower us. So recently I have been to Karna Bhavan in the last week, and I saw few brahmacharis who are around maybe 22 years, Prabhuji. That Prabhu is doing university as well. And at the same time, he wakes up early morning at 3 o'clock. He does all the service, complete Mangalarati. And throughout the day, he is engaged in cooking service. After that, he is engaged in book distribution service. So I asked him, how do you manage your university then, when you are doing all these things? And he said, Krishna empowers me, that's it. Krishna gives me the knowledge. And he does class 3 days in a week. And I saw him, he never prepared any text before he gave the class. He just opened the book and he asked which text we need to do today. And he just started and he gave references from Bhagavad-Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, from everywhere. So I asked him again, like, how do you do this one then? He said that Krishna gives me knowledge, that's it. I don't know how it comes, but when I sit here, Krishna gives me the knowledge. So you said a person can occupy an exalted position by spiritual empowerment. So I can relate it to the Prabhujis who have seen live now. That's it, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Yeah, wonderful. This is the thing. When we take association, when we go out and take association, and so much we can learn, we get inspired so much. We were in Jaipur recently, and then there was a devotee there, and he would come to Mangalarti. He was traveling. He would come to Mangalarti, and then from Mangalarti, he would go to his work, and from his work, he would go to. He was in the finance department. So I was speaking to him. He would go and collect donations. He would have a list of names that he would go and collect donations from businesses, go to the businesses and see them, collect donations. And then in the evening, he would come back to the temple again and meet devotees who are coming and take donations, because it's so many different people coming all the time. And then he would go home. And like I said, he was traveling. He wasn't living nearby. He was traveling. He would go home, get to sleep at 9 o'clock, 9:30, and then back again for Mangalati. I can't even imagine anybody, how they can do that. That's the empowerment for sure. You're going out collecting donations, you're running a business, and you're going to Mangalarti every day, 7 days a week. How is that possible? It can only happen when Krishna inspires you to do that and gives you empowerment to do that. Yeah, amazing. Thank you, Prabhu. So there are examples out there. We just, we need to just get inspired and do what we can as well. Fantastic. Praveen Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. A very nice class, and thank you so much for narrating Dhruva Maharaj's pastimes. So, how auspicious it is. And yeah, the only thing I'm thinking is Radharani Mataji, she said, we are ambassadors of Krishna consciousness, so we have to keep check on our behavior all the time, so how we can influence other people who come in touch with us, our family, and wait for Krishna's mercy more and more, and very nice example by Partha Prabhu, how Krishna empowers us. So we have to believe in our capabilities, but with Krishna's mercy, everything is possible. He empowers us to do things. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
So how can we get empowered, Mataji?
Well, it's the potency of devotional service. It's again and again it is stressed how to engage in Krishna's service when we surrender to Krishna and we are engaged in Krishna services only, rather than, like it says, how devotees are above the yogis and yogis above jnanis and above karmis. So we have to become a devotee rather than engaging ourselves for sense gratification or other reasons. So that's what I understand, that we just have to engage, in Bhagavad-Gita as well. Krishna is emphasizing again and again, just surrender unto me and I will take care of you. And again, we're getting the same message from Bhagavatam as well, how auspicious and the glories of spiritual master. So we have to listen to our spiritual master. We have to follow the instructions. And I'm sure Krishna will empower us then. And we've got the mercy, so we get to listen to Katha every Friday. So thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Venkat Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Are you unmuting, Prabhu?
Sorry, Prabhuji. Yeah, it just took time to unmute. Thank you very much. I wish I could join every week your association. And other than that, I have nothing much to say, Prabhuji. Thank you for your wonderful association in the class.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so very sweet pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj, and we are very fortunate that we get to hear these pastimes of exalted devotees, and they have a effect on our consciousness, just by hearing. It's mentioned that just by hearing, it can have such an effect on us, and also, our reactions are delivered as well. This is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam, that is so auspicious just by hearing. And the devotees have examples are given that people have by Shravanam, just by hearing, they have been delivered. Thank you so much. Okay, let's do a couple of rounds. Unless there's any questions or anything, we can do a couple of rounds. And maybe Praveen Mataji would like to lead.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask, are there any Diksha Gurus in like female body?
Sorry, Mataji, missed that?
Are there any Diksha Gurus in
Where-
female body?
In female, yes, there are some coming now.
Okay.
There wasn't any before.
Mm.
Diksha Gurus, any Matajis giving Diksha, but I think we're just starting now. What's the Mataji's name? Do you remember?
I don't know, there's Mataji from Germany. I can't remember her
Yeah,
name.
there is Mataji, not Urmala Mataji. No.
No, no. She claims
Yeah,
to be wise.
they have just, the GBC has just announced, I can't remember the name of the Mataji, but yes, some Mataji is just getting empowered, good home society, to by empowerment, getting empowered to give Diksha as well now. So yeah, things are happening in the background. Sorry, Mataji.
Shall I start? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati